In this arcade video, I'm going to tell you how to get 3 stars very easily in each one of your trials for week 4, as well as I'm going to tell you how to min-max your points and point farm to where that way you can ensure that you're at the top of the leaderboards toward the end of the week. Now, the great thing about this week is that there are some that are extremely farmable and you can get a crap ton of points, and there's one that is not as farmable, which we're going to go over first. The main reminder I want to give you up front here is that you have to have some sort of modifier in effect that has a little 2x multiplier, electromagnetic storm, night raids, the hidden bunker event, or any type of thing like that. The first one I'll talk about is going to be Damage Queen and Damage Matriarch. In my opinion, this is by far the least farmable for a couple of different reasons. The main one being that there's only one on the map at any given time, so if you spawn late or if there's other people damaging it, then you're going to get less points, because that's the main thing with this. You need to actually deal damage to them to gain points, and the points you get from this is really low to begin with, which is kind of puzzling in my opinion. And the big thing I mentioned there in the opening statement for this particular trial is that there are so many people doing this. Even if you go into teams and you get a good position, there are other teams all over the map trying to damage the queen, damage the matriarch. In solos, there's dozens of people just gathered around trying to do this. So you'll be lucky just to get your 3 stars and get out, which is actually what I'm going to tell you to do. Just get your 3 stars, get out, and then if you want to farm points later and try to do it, you can. But the big thing with dealing damage to these things, you get more points for actually killing them. That's how you can get up to around 8k to 10k points, is you can actually damage and kill the queen or the matriarch, and your odds of doing that are very low with so many people doing it. So my suggestions are, again, get your 3 stars and get out. The best place to do this is going to be damn battlegrounds for both of them. The queen technically has more HP, which gives you more point farming opportunities. So if you want to actually maximize your points, you're going to want to fight the queen. But if you can get it done on the matriarch, just do it. But personally, I haven't had a lot of luck on the matriarch personally. Now, the way I did this was with the team. That's how I actually maximized my points. All of us ran hull crackers and dealt tons of damage to the queen, and we ended up getting our 3 stars fairly easily. When I was solo going against the matriarch, it didn't feel like I was able to get enough points, only netting about 1,700 points or so. I wonder how much I could have gotten with the queen, but I didn't actually try that one solo. So really, if you want the easiest path to success of actually not dying, probably going in solo is going to be your best bet, because most people don't want to kill each other during this time of the event. But if you want to try and maximize your points and really go for the most, you should go in with the team, lock down one of these areas on damn battlegrounds that you're going to see on screen on the map, and you will probably end up having a lot of success. But a lot of this is RNG. You got to spawn in the right locations, you got to hold down the position, you got to hope players don't push you, and there's just so many things about this that don't make it very farmable. So my suggestion is go into a solo lobby with a hull cracker, get your 3 stars, get out, and then move on to one of the other trials, because all the other ones are much easier to farm. The next one is going to be Damage Leaper, and this one is pretty farmable if you know the correct pathing and routes to go and the correct maps to go to, which I'm going to explain to you. So essentially, you need to kill 1.5 leapers. You get 3,500 points per leaper. You need a total of 4,000 points to get 3 stars. So really, you need to kill 2 leapers, or at least kill one and do damage to another if you happen to be in that situation. So really, the best place to do it is going to be damn battlegrounds. There's 3 spawns right here in the water treatment area, the testing annex, and the red lakes that you can just path between and kill a bunch of leapers. Our team actually went in with this strategy and ended up killing 5 leapers, which is huge because they cause a lot of noise, and there's a lot of things that can happen the moment you start engaging a leaper, especially at nighttime, which we did it in. There were teams pushing us for all different sides. We had multiple close calls. So that's the biggest thing with this thing, is you got to bring in things that are going to kill leapers efficiently. Don't play around with your food. Don't just bring heavy weapons. If you have wolf packs, if you have blaze grenades, or if you have something to kill them very quickly, like a hull cracker, get them out of the way quickly and vacate the vicinity. Don't worry about looting him, because somebody in solos or in squads is going to push you, because they're going to hear you engaging the sleeper. So that's the biggest thing, is just get enough to get your 3 stars. Then go ahead and try and min-max this by actually going between the paths that I talked about, between water treatment, testing annex, and the red lake. So that way you could get more potentially, because it's quite valuable to do that, and you can stay in for a little bit and do it. But again, come in kitted, go at these things as hard as you can, get rid of them quickly. Don't play around with your food, because you will be pushed in any situation you're in. These next 3 are by far the easiest to farm and get a crap ton of points. The first one is going to be damage flying arc enemies. Again, anything in the sky counts as a flying arc enemy, between rocketeers, wasps, hornets, snitchers, whatever. Anything that's in the sky is going to count toward this challenge. There are a number of different ways you can do this. You can do this at night. On Blue Gate, there are a ton of flying units. It's a little bit risky because there are other players walking around, and if they hear you, going crazy trying to kill Arc, you will probably be pushed by some other player, whether you're in solo or teams. So very similar to my suggestion with the Wasp last week, I suggest you do this over on Spaceport during the Hidden Bunker event, mainly because this does give you the 2x multiplier and it is daytime. You can actually see what's going on around you, which is very nice. And then a lot of people are focused on the Hidden Bunker event and you're mostly going to be uncontested. But for this particular week, I have noticed that a lot of people are more engaged with everything flying around. So you got a couple of different options here. So the best places to do this on Spaceport is going to be either at the container storage or over in the trench towers. One is going to be safer than the others. The trench towers is probably going to be a little safer if you can get on top of the roof using zip lines or a snap hook. Most people are kind of friendly in that general area, and if you get sniped at, you can kind of be prepared for it if you bring the right equipment, and you can get a lot of kills from this particular area. The container storage is going to be more in the middle. You have more opportunities to kill Rocketeers. One actually spawns nearby that you can take out. So if you can get to the top floor and lock down that room with door blocks and mines and actually build some walls and stuff like that, you'll be fairly protected and you can kind of go between platforms. And most people in Hidden Bunker event typically leave you alone. Don't quote me, I have died there before, but for the most part, I was left alone to do whatever I wanted. And many other people were focused on taking down flying things as well. So the big thing is that to get the max amount of points, you get 200 to 300 points per Wasp, Hornet, and Snitch, and you get 1,500 points for Rocketeers. So you want to at least try to kill some Rocketeers in your mix of killing Wasp, Hornets, and Snitches, because that's how you're going to net the most points. If you come in kitted with like a Renegade or an Anvil or something like that, I felt like that was my favorite combo to bring in. You could take these out to your heart's content. Also bring in some wolf packs just to be able to take out Rocketeers and stuff like that in a pinch. And again, the main thing is you want to try to deal the final blow to all of these units, including Rocketeers, because you get the most points by doing that. Now, if you want to maximize your points, meaning you want to get the most amount of points you can get out of this, definitely bring in Snitch Scanners. You get these from killing the Snitches, and these will call in Arc units, basically Hornets and Wasps, so you can actually farm these up to your heart's content. You could probably get 30, 40, maybe even 50k on this particular event. I don't know what the possibilities are, but currently a lot of people, because the event is so long, meaning the rounds are so long, 40 plus minutes, they get a lot of points just organically. But if you bring in Snitch Scanners, you're going to be able to farm this up a lot. So this is going to be one of the ones where you can get big points at a minimum around 20 to 30k, but you could probably push up to 40k plus. Another one that's super farmable is going to be Harvest Plants. Now, if you do this during night raids, you're going to get 500 points per harvested plant. What's considered a harvestable plant is going to be great mulleins, mushrooms, moss. The agave plants is not going to be things like the apricots or the lemons. That's just something to keep in mind there. The easiest way to get a crap ton of points for this particular trial is going to be going over to Night Buried City to the Galleria. You can get 30 plus great mullein spawns within this area, which is going to net you a ton of points. You can get 20k just from this particular area, which is absolutely nuts. And then if you want to find another way to do it, which is a little bit less yield, it's more RNG, you just got to kind of run around and see what you find. You can actually go to damn battlegrounds during nighttime or during an electrical storm, and you can find mulleins, mushrooms, moss, and all those other things kind of scattered throughout the area. I'm going to leave an interactive map down in the description below for you to follow, so that way you can actually utilize that to find all the various spawns for this. But seriously, you can get a crap ton of points just doing Nighttime Buried City. It's going to require you to try this multiple times because a lot of people are going to be doing this, and it is a bit RNG. But if you can get the spawn to get close there and get as many of these as possible, seriously, you can net somewhere probably between 20 to 25k out of this very easily. The last one, and by far the most farmable by a mile in my opinion, is going to be the Open Arc Probes trial. Now, your initial thought may be to go do the probe event that comes up every so often, because there's a lot of them that come into the map, right? But you only get 600 points roughly per probe, which is not much, because that's not actually technically an event modifier, meaning you're not getting double points. Now, what is an event modifier is the electromagnetic storm. We finally have a good reason to go do this particular event consistently, because there's a ton of downed arc probes during this event. Now, you're going to get 1,300 points per probe, which is wild. And the thing about this event, again, is that it knocks probes out of the sky. Part of the event, they're already down. You're not going to actually see this happen. But where you would normally see one probe, like a down probe, you're actually going to see like 2, 3, maybe even 4 of these things scattered around in close proximity, which is going to net you a ton of points at 1,300 points per search. Now, again, the big thing about this is that you don't need to crack these open to get credit. All you have to do is search these. So if you're running around the map, you find some that are already searched, just go search them yourself and you're going to net a ton of points. Just doing this casually, not even trying, I ended up getting over 10,000 points. I think it was around 11,000. But when I go back and farm this, I'm expecting, if I go damn battlegrounds again, it's to get upwards of 30k plus on this very easily. Just do a free kit, see how many I can get. It's going to be super easy to farm. By far, in my opinion, the easiest one to farm and get a metric ton of points depending on which map you choose, because you can do this on Spaceport, on Buried City, or whatever map has electromagnetic storm. Just give this a shot because you're going to get a crap ton of points for this particular trial. But all right, that's all the trials on how to get 3 stars and the best ways to farm them and get the most amount of points you can get to lock yourself into the leaderboards. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments below, and more importantly, make sure you like, subscribe for more content similar to this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.